Aloha everyone, thank you so much for being a part of this tutor training. I did want to give you a brief overview of what you can expect within the module's units. So first off, this training has quite a few different goals, but the really huge summative goal is to prepare you for success in tutoring by teaching you how to modify learning environments. In addition to that, there's going to be a couple different pieces that lead up to this big goal. So what we are going to be focusing on is educating you on the various learning strategies to support students' progress. We're also going to focus on equipping you with skills to customize tutoring sessions. Ideally, we're going to try and enhance your tutoring strategies through theory and practice. And lastly, it's our hope that you will be able to expand your tutoring methods to ultimately adjust learning environments to meet the needs of various students. So let's look at the module units to kind of get an idea of how this training is set up. In Unit 1, we're going to look at the beginning of a tutoring session. The big takeaway of Unit 1 is essentially the practice of tutoring is grounded in the theory of scaffolding. So after going through this unit, you are going to move on to Unit 2. And Unit 2 is all about identifying learner needs and really kind of figuring out what to do at the beginning of a tutoring session. The big takeaway from this unit is really identifying learner needs helps tutors to game plan for a productive session. Followed by Unit 2 will be Unit 3. And in Unit 3, we're going to be addressing strategies for a session. Unit 3 is going to be focused mainly on the Socratic method of questioning. And the big takeaway for this unit is that the Socratic method of questioning is foundational in working through a tutoring session. Now the last unit, the fourth unit of this particular module is going to be focused on modifying a tutoring session. Tutoring sessions require constant modifications. And in order to get to a point to modify a tutoring session, it's important that you first know how to scaffold and begin a tutoring session. It's also important that you're able to identify what the student needs at the beginning of the session, and then you have some strategies to utilize within your session so that you're able to appropriately modify a tutoring session. Now the big takeaway for Unit 4 is that there are many different types of tutoring methods or approaches you can use to modify or customize the learning environment of your session to best assist the needs of your students. So with that being said, I wanted to go into a little bit more detail as far as the theories and the different aspects that you can expect within these units. So in Unit 1, it's all about the introduction to the learning theory of scaffolding. So we're going to look at different tools to use in order to scaffold learning within your tutoring session. In Unit 2, we're going to review the 3 domains of learning theory. And again, this is all focused on identifying learners' needs through a specific 3-step process. In Unit 3, we're going to look at understanding the theory of Socratic questioning, and it's going to focus specifically on strategic questioning during your tutoring session to really structure that learning. And then of course, like I mentioned previously, Unit 4 is all about comprehensive tutoring methods. We're going to focus on modifying the learning environment to really enhance the needs and experiences of your learners. So each of these units is really building on top of each other to help frame, customize, and modify a tutoring session. Now, I just wanted to provide a brief overview of the training. So you've already, or you should have already, completed the pretest. And this pretest is really important because it helps me to identify what you already know. Now, after you've done the pretest and you've completed this video, the next step is to really dive into the module units. In these units, you're really going to be introduced to the theories, tools, strategies, and most importantly, the application of these items in order to customize a tutoring session. And then lastly, you're going to end this training with a post-test. And this post-test is really essential because it's going to help me identify what you've learned within the training. So with that being said, I wish you happy tutoring. and I really hope that this training will assist you in structuring your tutoring sessions in the future. Thanks!